these two sections were too much scoring, while DM section is like either you make it or break it. So this was the first lesson was don't get overconfident. Like, okay, if you have done well in an exam, practice is still required because you are going to give the
Right.
another exam, right? So the same pressure is going to happen over you. And I scored 99 plus percentile in CAT, but this year I knew that last year I messed up that just because of my overconfidence. If I was disappointed, I was demotivated, I just gave my 110%.
Hello everyone. Today we have with us Shubham Jha. He has scored 99.299 percentile in XAT. That's a great improvement from his previous XAT percentile because last year he has scored only in the 50s percentile range in XAT exam, and this year he has scored 99.299 percentile in XAT 2022. He is an engineer. He graduated from NIT Jamshedpur in the year 2020. He's also a working professional, and today he is with us to share his XAT preparation journey and his XAT preparation strategy with us in detail. So, hi Shubham, thank you for joining us.
Hello. Hi. Yeah.
So, first of all, a big congratulations on scoring 99.2 percentile.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Krakow team, for this,
Yeah,
giving me an opportunity, yeah, to share my experiences. First of all, I would like to tell about myself.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, sure,
I
please.
have done, yeah, I have done BS and MS in physics from uh, from NIT Jamshedpur, and passed out in 2020. Then after I indulged into some working things, my sector was banking, and there and my first CAT attempt was in 2020. So that was the thing happened, and last year I got some new IM call, but there was a thing that top five, everybody aims at top five college,
Right.
like
Yeah.
at least I get any single call from college, so that I would have the chance to convert them. So yeah, that dream, mostly this year maybe gonna successful. So yeah, let's hope for the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my brief introduction.
All right, great. So, can you walk us through your XAT preparation journey? Like when you started preparing and how did it all start?
Just after the CAT, I was in a despair, like what happened, and somehow I knew somehow that my VRC didn't go well. That was the major setback for me, and the initial 3 4 5 days I was like in a despair mood, or like what happened or something else, what gonna happen. I just completely messed up the section. Then there was a video, by Shayali ma'am or Maruti sir, that how Excel is a good college, like it is as compared to ABC and ISB Hyderabad. So that somehow motivated me. And my friend, I would like to mention his name,
Yeah,
Mohit
yeah,
Balani. He was the student of Krakow too. Last year got 99.96 percentile, and he sent me the link of SAT DM practice. That section. There was
right.
30 sections, I guess 30 sectional tests, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
right.
So I used to give daily one of them and analyze it properly, like especially for DM, and that somehow that was the initial push for me, so that yeah, I would go in the flow for the rest of the days. Like there is approx 32 days between CAT and SAT. So I guess that is the enough time if you have prepared well for CAT. So the only new section was the DM, so I was totally focused over it. And there was a thing that I learned from CAT 2021, that
Yeah,
don't think so much whether I will do good in this section or what, because while attempting the VRC section, I was thinking a lot that what will happen if I gonna get less marks than before, and and there is a sectional cutoff, and if I don't get the call, like this was the thing happened with me. So I somehow practiced, and DM was the crunchier section. We all know that is a bit tougher than CAT, but yeah, there
yeah,
is a thing. You get question per minute extra time than cat,
Yeah, other
so you
exams.
have
Yeah.
you, yeah, you can properly come back if initial 30-40 minutes if you just messed up, then if you have the proper time to just come back and do well in the exam. So this was the thing. And yeah, I attempted mocks. I gave past year papers. There is enough resources on Kraku, like you can give past year papers as a mock. So I gave 2018 ZAT paper, 2019, and
Okay.
not 2020, because 2020 in the video Shayali ma'am told that 2020 paper was not that much at par with, because these
Okay.
three sections were mm, it was quite tougher and little bit of absurd. So I gave 2021, 2019, and 2018. So
Okay.
this
All the
this
previous
was
ones.
these were
Okay.
the tests. Yeah. So these three mocks were given by me, and I used to analyze them properly. And yeah, of course, the DM section by Krakow. I personally suggest each and everyone that please go through that DM practice section. So that was the really that was really beneficial for me, truly.
Right. So, okay. So, okay, let's talk about DM then first. As we all
Yeah,
know, it's a make or break section in the ZAT, right?
true,
So,
true.
how did you prepare for that section from the scratch? How did you go about preparing and
Yeah.
all that?
Okay. One point I was completely hearing that XLRI always prefers discussion over any steps. Like their decision making capability is to inculcate all the to a particular circle. So they prefer discussions and then after proceed to the final conclusion. So whenever I
Okay.
see those options, like go and discuss with the discuss with the shopkeeper, then the local area people, and then took decision, then take decision. So that was the thing I just uh, fixed in my mind, that yes, if this
Yeah.
option will be there, I will surely go and take it, because
Okay.
90%
Discussion.
of time this was the thing. I also wrote down it in my notes. So
Okay.
yeah, that was the first thing happened. And then past year ZAT paper um helped me a lot. Reason being, uh, if you go through the DM section, uh, there are rather than focusing why this is correct, focus on why these three other options, I mean four other options, are not correct. So this was my priority. Like,
Right.
that
Yeah.
two three options are like absurd, they are surely going to they are surely wrong. But
Yeah.
you are confusing two or three options in DM section, and usually mess up happens in those. So what XLRI thinks, like how you should make the decision, you have to think along with them. I mean, in the same line with the so this was my first strategy. I used to note down each and everything. If there is new thing arrive, like if for example, if you allow me,
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
so I just made the notes actually. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'd like to with you all. Yeah, there were video of ma'am
Yeah. Right.
he made the section of do and do nots, like they do in do's more practical, ethically, morally, and sensible choices, he said in the video. And there was don'ts, like stay away from the sly partial truth option and do nothing choice, like just ignore it first at first sight. Like if there is a choice, like do nothing and wait for the
Right. Right.
later on conclusion, then just ignore it,
Yeah.
that option,
Eliminate it
ignore that
immediately.
option.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, my DM score was 0.75 and 94.xx percentile in that particular section. So yeah, ultimately
Great.
it went
That's
well.
amazing. Actually, that's a very good percentile in the DM section. All right, now let us
Yes.
discuss about the other two sections, the verbal and the quant section.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how you prepared for these sections,
Yeah.
and how did these sections specifically differ from that of CAT?
Yeah. So, as I told you earlier, in CAD, what I did wrong was thinking twice each and every option, like whether it is going to happen or not, or just because of that, I just messed up my section, messed up my VRC section, although clearing the cutoff. But this was the thing I learned, and when I gave that, I properly analyze things, and I don't think twice. Like if this is supposed to be correct, okay, fine, just let it be and move into other. Don't think twice, or don't think overthink, like if it is wrong or something else. So this was the major change in my strategy while attempting VRC section. And for quant section, I gave extra time to it. Like I knew my cat percentile in quant was 99.9x, so I was confident about this
Oh,
section a lot.
okay,
Like I
okay,
knew that I'm going to good in this particular section. So yeah, I just gave the enough time. uh, Also, what I tell the aspirants, like, don't be too overconfident or don't be too demotivated. So just take each and every exam like an exam, like you are going to do well. Just prepare well, and you are going to get through either in CAT, ZAT, or IFT, because these three
great.
exams were given by most of the good students and top notches. So that was the thing for this section. And yeah, from 80 percentile in CAT VRC, and
PRC, great.
99 percentile approx in ZAT was the yeah, in VRC section was a
Yeah, that's a
measure,
great, huge achievement.
exactly. So this was the thing.
Great. So, okay,
Yeah.
now we know that XAT is not a speed test. It's not because you have more time per question. So, how did you go about strategizing your exam? What was your strategy, and what was the order of attempting your section, and how did you come up with that?
Okay. As I told you earlier that I gave mocks on the Krakow platform. Uh, I analyzed things that yes, attempting VARC at first was pretty comfortable for me. So I
Okay.
attempted VARC at first, and then after I went to quants, and at the and at the last attempted DM section, because giving too
DM,
much
okay.
time on DM section is not worthy, because either you make it or break it. So this was the thing. DM section,
Right.
either you make it or break it. But VRC and quants need some time, because marks is being scored in VRC section or in quant section.
Quant.
Either you
Yeah, especially quant. Yeah.
yeah, quant and VR section. So these two sections were too much scoring, while DM section is like either you make it or break it. So I have seen people like they used to score 7 8 marks and they clear the cutoff pretty well. So my strategy was to maximize my score. So I attempted VRC section at first, and then after I went to quant section. This was my strategy. And then because giving more than 35 40 minutes in DM section is unworthy. Either you take it or just leave it. So
Yeah,
this was
right.
the thing. So that was my strategy, which I learned from the past Krakow mocks and past year papers, that papers.
All right, great. So you have already taken CAT and you also gave XAT. So can you tell us how is XAT different in terms of CAT in preparation, like section wise?
Okay. So overall, if you see, the question per minute in ZAT is a bit higher than CAT, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
overall difficulty level, XAT is a bit tougher than CAT, in either in
Okay.
quants or in VARC. Like in VARC, CAT would focus on para jumbles, para summaries, and RC with a major chunk
Yeah,
in
right.
RCs.
Right.
While XAT has a diaspora of things, like they give weightage to RCs, grammar sections, uh, para jumpers, in fact, but with and para summary. So that is a more kind of nature of verbal ability and RCs. Like they usually
Yeah,
focus on these
grammar
two things.
and right.
Yeah. So this was a thing which makes that different from cat. And of course quant section, because a bit the wordings of the quants is a bit lengthier. And from this year I've seen a major change, that last year there was 3 sets, but this year there were 4 sets in DI section. Overall, this thing, and of course, yeah, DM section new thing. I mean, that is CAT plus DM section with more question per minute thing. That's yeah.
All right. So, what are the other MBA entrance exams that you've taken, and how did your performance go in those exams?
Okay. Apart from CAT and ZAT, I registered for IFT. So yeah, I
Okay.
gave IFT, and it went quite well. Like I'm expecting around 97 or 98 percentile IFT as per
Okay.
score calculator. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So if everything well in LRDI section, then I will clear the whole sectional cutoffs. So
Right. Okay. So, during your preparation, was there any phase where you got very demotivated, maybe due to low mock scores, or maybe preparation not going well, or other entrance exams effect, or something like that? And if yes, how did you tackle that?
okay. While preparing for CAT, in fact, when I gave
Okay.
mocks, like I used to score. There was a score, like I scored 130 and 99 point or 9 percentile around. There was also a mock where I scored 70 percentile. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
there were days like I was too motivated, and there were days I used to cry a lot. In fact, frankly
Oh,
speaking,
okay.
like what happened and what did went wrong. But uh, there are videos like the topper interviews, and they all of the students went from the same phase. Like they don't have the constant graph, like they are doing constantly well, or there were days in each and every student's life that they somehow went through the the deep turnover. I mean,
Yeah, right.
they were somehow disappointed at some point of time, like what happened and where it all went wrong. So this thing do happen, and I knew that okay, fine, if I will be consistent enough, so I will surely crack the CATs at and other exams. And yeah, luckily it happened. So that was the thing. I was motivated. Get demotivated, I used to watch the earlier students who gave the interviews on Krakow platforms and on different platforms too. So yeah, this motivated me a lot. Yeah.
So, yeah. So, what is that most important thing when it comes to the XAT exam? The most important thing that is needed to crack the exam. If I had to ask you
Yeah.
one most important thing.
Okay, fine. So in that you have the proper time for each particular questions. So rather focusing too much about whether you are going to do this or do that, just be calm because you have the time, and go through the if your concepts are clear, you are getting enough time, you are going to crack it for sure. And the second thing I would like to mention is go through at least five past mocks, and trust me, if you attempt it wholeheartedly, religiously, and analyze it properly, the DM section lies in those five mocks, because
Right.
uh, what are the new decisions are being made, like, right, either organization have the same pathways, like there is always a same situation that manager is angry, and you have to calm it down. If you compare the past year papers, like in DM section, more or less there are the same scenarios like this year too. I just remember the question, like a man suddenly enters into the office, and he was too much angry about the boss's decision. So the same thing happened in
Okay.
past years too. Like you have the
Okay.
advantage. You know the things for DM at least, that yes, the same scenarios are going to happen, and I have to make up my mind that these options are good and these options are bad. So make or break thing, as I told you earlier. So go through 5 years past mocks. Quants, you can do nothing. It's all about just about practice, practice, and more you practice, more you keep your mind calm, the more the more good results are the more good results you are going to expect, because you have the enough time. So
Right.
so you are
Yes.
not like, oh, okay, fine, I have just take this question on my ego and I can't move to the other section. But in this particular exam, you have that advantage. So, and VARC, like VRC is all about reading and how you comprehend well, and there is no shortcuts for VRC. There are shortcuts for quants and DM sections, like
Yeah.
past year mocks. More you practice and more you are going to get beneficial. So yeah, this was the thing. Yeah. So yeah, I gave mocks on the Krakow platform. Krakow provides you the same the interface, like the ZAT exam or the CAT exam. So I have seen many people like giving it as a 1 hour mock and then skip to the next part and give other. Just give it properly with 3 hours sitting, because at the time of the exam you aren't going to go to the bathroom or get fresh or something else.
Right.
So give it in a straight go, like until or unless you don't have any emergency. So yeah, because it's all about the top five college, right? And you can't miss
Right. Right.
XLRI.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect. So finally, is there anything else that you would like to tell the future ZAT aspirants or MBA aspirants in general?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. Okay, so I take two cases. My first case was CAT 2020. I scored well, 99.38 around in CAT 2020, and I was too much, in overconfident. Like, okay, fine, I have practiced a lot, and so I will do good in exact. And the just reversed has happened. I just messed up the whole exam, and I got only 50 to 60% time. So this was the thing.
Right.
The first lesson was, don't get overconfident. Like, okay, if you have done well in an exam, practice is still
Yeah.
required, because you are going to give the
Right.
another exam, right? So the same pressure is going to happen over you. And this year I scored 99 plus percentile in CAT, but this year I knew that last year I messed up that just because of my overconfidence. So even
Right.
if I was disappointed, I was demotivated, I just gave my 110%. Like, I gave mocks properly, analyzed him, gave as I stated earlier, the Krakow ZAD DM practice section. Those were literally very helpful for me. So I gave it on a regular basis. Like, you have to give half an hour daily for at least those particular things and analyzing those. And
Right.
five mocks take you how much time? 5 3 15 hours, and analyzing them double the time, 30 to 35 hours, like 2 or 3 days on an average. So this was the thing. And so I was demotivated, and I learned from my past experiences. Okay, fine, just be calm and
Right.
give your best, because you can't afford to lose a top 5 college. So yes,
Right. Right.
and this happened. Yeah.
Brilliant. So you didn't repeat your mistake this time. That's
Yeah,
so you learned
of course.
something from that's amazing. So thank you so much, Shubham. You shared some really valuable insights regarding the
Yeah,
preparation for the
thank you
ZAT
so much.
exam,
And
and
Krakow, I'm truly obliged for the Krakow team, Shali ma'am and Maruti sir. I mean, those videos, and I used to attend their live sessions daily at the evening at 7 p.m., sometimes 5 p.m. or 8 p.m. There was a live
right,
section, live tests, and one more thing,
life,
sir.
life skills. Yes.
There was daily practice seats. I mean, daily practice. There is a there are 7 to 8 questions they used to give in quants, and one the LRDI set, and VRC section, one VRC is daily. So that helped me a lot to be in a pace with this particular thing, like how is CAT and how is ZAT, and ultimately and the different level of the questions somehow made me comfortable with the ups and downs. Like, if the paper is tough, I was going to score less. If the paper was easy, I was going to score high. So
Right.
that made me comfortable, while whether whatever be the paper, I gonna do well. And ended up well. And 99 plus percentile in CAT and XAT was always has always been my dream. So, and it happened,
Yes.
and thanks a lot to
Okay.
the
Now you
gratitude.
achieved.
So don't get either demotivated or don't get either overconfident. So just be calm, because there are 2 3 exams like CAT, XAT, and IFT, even a SNAP. So
Right.
if you get into enter into top 10 colleges, like your life is shorted. So be calm, and if you have given your effort, once in a while you are going to go somewhere. So just be calm.
All right. So thank you so much, and also all the best for your interview preparation.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kraku. Thank you so much.
Yeah.